Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video about post-grad tips. Today the tips that we're going to talk about is going to be specifically tailored to student living and living alone. If the video goes over more than 10 minutes, then I'll probably break them up into two. So as you guys know, I always write notes on my phone because I am gonna talk about things that are important, but sometimes I don't want to shy away from my notes. So the first part of this video, we are gonna tailor to talking about living alone. So these tips are good if you didn't go to college and you want to live alone, or if you did go to college like myself and I decided to live alone. These are some tips that could really help you. So let's jump right in. Don't forget to subscribe. Come on, I'm waiting. Click the subscribe button. So let's jump right in. The first thing I have to say about if you're going to live alone, whether you're going to be in school or not be in school, is that you save up at least 2 months rent before you decide to move into wherever you're moving to. So like, for example, for me, when I moved in my 1-bedroom, I was able to get a refund check. So I paid my rent up like 5 months in advance. But if you're not gonna have a refund check, or if you're like not in school, you're just like working, you wanna live alone, my suggestion is that you save up 2 months rent, and when you move in, you give them that money, because sometimes financial hardships happen, or sometimes you have to move your money around, or you might even lose your job. And it's really important that you do have those resources in place so you can still have a place to stay. Before you move into your apartment, my suggestion would be for you to buy all the things that you need. And when I say buy all the things that you need, like a few months in advance, start buying those kitchen rugs, start buying those throw pillows, start buying that comforter. Curtains might be a little different because you might have to measure the window, but you can do that when you go to look at the model. But basically, when you get in, you want to eliminate those expenses, unless your money is just, you just balling and you can just afford to like put it in there. You don't gotta save or nothing. So next thing is, let me add this. So like, before I move anywhere, I will always like ride through the neighborhood like a few days, like out the week or whatever, just to kind of post what's going on with the neighbors, because y'all know I'm nosy, and just to kind of see the feel for like how it is. So my suggestion would be, before you move in, to ride through and just trying to get a feel for how the neighborhood is. So once you're living alone, my suggestion is that you get an alarm system. The alarm system I had, I could see directly on my phone. I could see who was coming in. I could see who was coming out. I did not have cameras, but if you do not want to have an alarm system, my suggestion would be that you buy the safety stick. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's like a stick that you put underneath your door, and like, if someone tries to get in while you're inside, it would deter them. And then if you're gonna be leaving, you can always do the old chair trick where you pull the chair closest to the door while you're leaving, and if someone tries to come in, it makes them think that someone is. And I know I say a lot, don't I? See, I just did it. Never have the same routine if you're gonna live alone. My suggestion would be that you don't have to go around the world to go home, but like, sometimes when you get off of work, go a different way home, because I'm just always the same type of person. I never had the same routine. You don't know if I'm coming at 2. You don't know if I'm coming at 5. You don't know if I'm coming like a thief in the night. You just don't know. Like, it's important that you never have the same routine. Like, even when you live in your apartment, you may park in the same place all the time, but maybe just one night park across in the next building. Throw them off. They don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You gotta be out here like Batman and Robin, just flying through the sky. So when you're living alone, don't be like me. I'm scared of everything. Don't live in fear. You're safe. You're locked behind the door. They can't get to you unless they really try. So like, I think you'll be okay. I would suggest that you attend a few of your leasing office events. Like, if they have monthly events or if they have quarterly events, go just to see who your neighbors are and who you're interacting with. you know, get to know the leasing staff. When I did live by myself, so when I left A&T, I left campus, and then I went to student living, and then I left there and went to stay by myself. Well, I do specifically remember like one creepy neighbor that I had that was like hiding in plain sight. And y'all, when I say he was so creepy, like I really feel like it was something like off of a Lifetime movie. Like I specifically remember one of my little friends came to spend the night, and the next morning when he woke up, his car wouldn't start or whatever. So my neighbor was like, oh, well, like I can help him or whatever, like get his car started. So he was like helping him, yada yada yada, blase blase blase. Well, he finally got the car like started and cranked up and ready to go. So the next day I like went over to his house. What was I thinking? Just to tell him thank you. So when I knocked on the door, he was like, do y'all remember Everybody Hates Chris with that man that stayed upstairs? He was like, yeah. He was like, what's up, Julius? He was like, what's up? Like, and Rochelle was like, something is going on with that man. Well, that's how I felt. Like, when I stepped inside of his apartment, I was like, oh, like, this is really some Lifetime stuff, y'all. He had 2 mattresses on the floor, a computer by the window, some big screens up with lights, and no air. What y'all think they was in there doing? Your imagination. I said all that to say I didn't end up dying. Number 2, I didn't see him really anymore after that. And I had stayed there 2 years, and he was still living there, but he was like a ghost. Like he would, like you would see his car and then you wouldn't see his car. You would see his car, then you wouldn't see his car. But I said all that to say, like, just pay attention to who you're living around, because you might be living next to somebody that, like me, that's super nosy and always watching, or you might be living next to somebody like him that's like super creepy and like they watching you and you don't know. Because he was like, I know you go to class at 8 o'clock every day. Okay. So I think one day out the week, I'm gonna have to go late or go early. So you will be thrown off, sir. Okay. So that's that story. Lastly, about living alone, if your lease gets too high, please move. Like, so I stayed in my apartment for 2 years, and I ended up moving for other reasons that were like neglect on the leasing office part, but ultimately the price just got to be too high. And like, I wasn't staying in the Trap, but I wasn't staying in Beverly Hills. So what y'all not gonna do is price gouge, and you got people that's standing over the balcony smoking cigarettes at 4:30 in the morning, monitoring who's coming in and out of your house. So that's what y'all not gonna do. So if we're recapping, we're gonna save 2 to 3 months worth of rent before we move in. We're gonna get an alarm system if we can afford it, but if we can't afford it, then we're going to get the safety stick or do the chair trick. We're gonna watch our neighbors, because they might be crazy, like the one that I told you about, or they might be nice, like the little old lady that stayed downstairs. They had all the dogs, but she ended up moving, so yeah. So like, I hope these tips help you. I try to not come with like really long videos, because I know for me, like if I'm gonna watch a vlog, then I'm like, okay, 35 minutes I can do. But like if I'm gonna watch like a video with tips, I don't really want like extensive tips. So those are gonna see me in this outfit again, because I'm gonna go ahead and record the student living tips and advice. So that's it for today, guys. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, Glitter Gang.